Hi and welcome to another video of Made by Siem. Today I'm going to show you how to make this a beautiful baby blanket. Well, at least I made it in a baby blanket. It is a approximately 30 by 30 inches. It is a little smaller. I tried to do a Dutch size, somewhere in between a Dutch size and a regular American size, the 30 inches by 30 inches. But I ended up having 73 centimeters. I don't know, but somewhere I went wrong. I'm not going to use it as a baby blanket. My cat probably is going to use it because she loves crochet blankets. So we don't have children, so I don't need it to be a baby blanket, but I love this stitch and I wanted to learn you guys how to crochet this beautiful stitch. Now you can make it any size that you want, like I said, but it's all up to you what kind of yarn you use and the hook size. I just can tell you what I use for my size with the yarn and the crochet hook that I used. Now, in my Dutch video, I already recorded that one. I said that it may be a wise idea to make a small swatch. For example, make a swatch with yarn that you want to use of 20 by 20 centimeters. Now, if you have that little swatch, it will be easier for you to calculate how much yarn you will need for your blanket. Then add 1 or 2 skeins just to be sure that you have enough yarn for the blanket that you like. Now, for example, let's say this square is 20 by 20 centimeters. It's not, but let's say it is. You would like to have a baby blankets or any kind of size of blanket, or maybe a scarf of 60 by 60. For example, 60 centimeters by 60 centimeters. I'm just using centimeters because I'm familiar with that, but the same works with inches. Okay, now let's say you want to have one for 60 by 60 centimeters. This square is 20 by 20. Now you have 20 by 40. 60 by 20. If you want 60 by 60, you will need 9 of these squares, or 9 times the little swatch that you did. This works for every size blanket that you like. Okay, so if you want a blanket of 40 by 60, you will need 6 times this square. Now, what I also like to use is such a thing as this, this one. I love to use my scale, because if I crochet a little swatch of 20 by 20 centimeters or 10 by 10, it's just up to you, then I'm weighing it to see how much yarn I used for this one. Okay, like let's say that you have 9 of these squares all together, and that is the size that you like. Then you should have 9 times the weight of the yarn that you use for one square. I hope it makes sense. That's how I usually weigh my amount of yarn that I need. I went through 5 of these skeins of this yarn for my size blanket. My size blanket is, yeah, it's not completely 30 inches by 30 inches. It's 29 inches by 29 inches, and I had some yarn left. that I used for this little swatch that I made in my Dutch video. Now this is the yarn that I used for my blankets. This is the Scheepjes Chunky Monkey anti-pilling yarn. It's a Dutch brand, and I know it is available overseas. Don't know where, but this is what I used. 100 grams, 116 meters. It's an Aran weight or a medium worsted weight 4 yarn. They do suggest to use a 5mm crochet hook or knitting needles. 100% premium acrylic anti-pilling yarn. Beautiful yarn for the size of blanket that I have. Not quite 30 by 30 inches, but I think it's 29 by 29 inches. I went through 5 of these skeins and I had some yarn left. Just to give you a number. This color is called Peach and it is 1026. That's the number of the color. Now, they do suggest to use a 5mm crochet hook or knitting needles, but I would like to have my blanket, I wanted to have a little bit of a drape. So instead of using a 5mm crochet hook, I think it is too stiff for this stitch. I went for a 6.5mm crochet hook, but I do have a really loose tension. So if you have a tighter tension, I would suggest you go for a 7mm, or maybe you want to go for an 8mm crochet hook. That is just completely up to you. So I went through 5 of these skeins, then a darning needle to sew in your ends, and a pair of scissors. You would also like to use measuring tape, and the one thing that I think is one of the most important things in your crochet life, a scale. I love my scale. I use it for a lot of different projects. I love it. Right, I already made my blanket. It is not a big blanket, but it's big enough for my cat. She will love it. If you have a look on the side of the blanket, I really like the border on the side of the blanket. Look here. It has a little wave, and this is what it is supposed to look like. I think it looks adorable. Right, as I already made my big piece, I'm going to show you in a little swatch how to make this blanket. Alright. Leave a little bit of a tail end so you can sew it in easier later on. Then start off with a slip knot on your hook. There you go. And chain in multiples of 3 plus 1. For this little swatch, I'm going to make a chain of 15, but for my blanket I made a chain of 81 plus 1 is 82. So for this little swatch it is 15 plus 1 is 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, because 15 divided by 3 is 5 plus 1. Now we're going to work in the second chain from the hook. Remember that the loop on the hook doesn't count as a stitch. This is the first one from the hook, and this is the second one from the hook. You can work into the second one just by crocheting into the stitch, or what I like to do is turn it a little over and work in the back bump. So 1, 2, turn it a little over, and right there is the bump. So make your very first stitch into that bump. First one is always difficult. 1, 2, turn. There you go. Alright, single crochet in the back bump of the second stitch. There you go. Another one in the next. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through 2. Insert your hook in the next bump, back bump, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. This is what you do in all the back bumps. Now, you should have, at the very end, you should have your stitch count in single crochets. So if you started off with a chain of 81 plus 1, you will have at the very end 81 single crochets. For this little swatch, I started off with 15 plus 1. At the end, I will have 15 single crochets. If you find it too difficult to work into the back bump, don't worry, just work into the regular stitch. No problem at all. The only reason why I do this, let me show you, is because I like how the stitch looks right there. You will have the V's at the bottom of your blanket, and I like that. But don't worry, just working through the stitches like this, there you go, is fine too. Okay? Right. Okay, go ahead, work a single crochet in all the stitches across, and I will see you guys at the very end of the round. Almost there. There you go, my last stitch. If you're not sure, count your stitches. Next row, chain 3. Now, this chain 3 doesn't count as anything. It's not a stitch. It's just, like I showed you guys, the beginning of the wavy border that I like so much. So it doesn't count as anything. Turn your work, yarn over, and work into this very first stitch right there, and make a double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook, grab your yarn, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So it looks like you have 2 stitches, but like I said, this is just for the fun of it. We have 1 stitch. 1 stitch, so 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and 1 double crochet in the next stitch. So now you have 3 double crochets in a row. Doesn't count as anything. 1, 2, 3. Right. We're going to crochet V stitches. Skip the first stitch, go into the second, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in the same stitch. Skip 1. And this is what you're going to repeat for this row. Skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, and double crochet in the next. Skip 1. Skip 1, V stitch in the next. double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, and skip 1. This is what you do until you have 3 stitches left. Okay, you have 4, but you need to skip 1 before you have the 3 stitches left. Okay? Right, when you're ready at the very end of the round, so do not forget to skip that one, 1 double crochet in each of the last 3 stitches. So 1 double crochet in the last 3 stitches. There you go. And this is what it should look like if you have a little swatch, just like mine. Chain 3. The chain 3 again doesn't count as anything. Turn your work. Work 1 double crochet in each of the first 3 double crochets. 2, 3. Next, there is your V-stitch. Work 1 front post double crochet around the first leg of your V-stitch. Yarn over, go into this space here behind the first double crochet of your V-stitch, come back up in the middle of the V-stitch, yarn over, pull this yarn underneath your double crochet of the V-stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you have crocheted your very first front post double crochet. Into this space here, 2 double crochets, 1, 2, chain 1, and 2 double crochets into the same space. Around the second leg of your V-stitch, a front post double crochet, yarn over, go into the space of the V-stitch, go behind the double crochet, come back up on the other side of the double crochet, yarn over, pull through. You have 3 stitches on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And this is the pattern in your very first V-stitch. Front post double crochet, 2 double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochet, front post double crochet. And this is what you're going to repeat over all your V-stitches of the previous row, over your previous row. Front post double crochet, 2 double crochets into the chain space, chain 1, 2 double crochets into the chain space, front post double crochet. Let's do that again. Front post double crochet around the first leg of your V-stitch, 2 double crochet into the chain space, 1, 2, chain 1, and 2 double crochet into the same chain space, 1, 2. Front post double crochet around the last leg of your V-stitch, and I am at the very end of my row now. But if you have a larger swatch, or if you're working on your blanket already, you will need to do quite a few more. But if you are at the very end, you have 3 stitches left. It looks like you have 4, but remember, the chain 3 right there doesn't count as anything, so we're not going to see that one as a stitch. 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 2, 3. Great. This is what it looks like. Now, we're going to repeat the next 2 rows. So the next 2 rows will be the repetition for the complete blanket. I'm going to put the timestamp as of right now down below into the comment section of this video. So if you need to see it again, then go back to that timestamp. Chain 3, turn your work. The chain 3 does not count as anything, it's just for a beautiful wavy border on the side. So we're going to make a double crochet into the first stitch right there, a double crochet in the next stitch, and a double crochet in the next stitch. Now we're going to skip all these stitches and we're going to work in the chain 1 spaces of this row only. Okay? So skip all these and go to the chain 1 space. It's the middle of your shell of the previous row. And in each chain 1 space we're going to crochet a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. That's all we're going to do this round. So skip all this, go to the next chain 1 space and V-stitch, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Skip, go to the chain 1 space. Oh, do not forget to yarn over, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. Skip, 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 because all this belongs to the shell. Then go to the last 3 stitches. Remember, this is not a stitch. So double crochet in each of the next or the last 3 double crochets of the previous row. And that is 3. This is what it looks on this side. If you turn it over, it looks like this. It looks more beautiful if you have more rows done. Believe me. Chain 3. Turn your work. Work 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, the first 3 stitches of this row. There you go. And then the next stitch is a V stitch. See, V. Remember, front post double crochet around the first leg of your V stitch, into the chain space 2 double crochet, 1, 2, chain 1 and 2 double crochet, all in the same space, and a front post double crochet around the last leg of your V stitch, around the last double crochet of your V stitch. And this is what you do with all the V stitches. Front post double crochet, 2 double crochet into the chain space, chain 1, 2 double crochet into the chain space, front post double crochet. Look at that. I love this stitch. I love it. Right, for me this is the last one. Front post double crochet, 2 double crochet, chain 1 and 2 double crochet, front post double crochet, and then here you have the last 3 stitches. This one does not count as a stitch. On top of each of the next 3 double crochets, 1 double crochet. There you go. Like I said, the last 2 rows is what you repeat until you have your desired length or width or whatever you're going to use this for. Then the next row will be the row where you make another V-stitch row, and the row after that one will be a single crochet row. Let me show you how to do that. Chain 3, remember, does not count as anything. 1 double crochet in the first stitch, 1 double crochet in the next, and 1 double crochet in the next. Perfect. Now we're going to work into the chain 1 spaces only, so skip all that, go to the chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, skip, 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 chain 1, into the chain 1 space, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, skip all that, go to the next chain 1 space, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet. This is what you do all the way across until you are at the very end of your row. Do not forget to skip all these stitches because they all belong to the shell. And then you have here the last 3 stitches, not a stitch. 1 double crochet on top of each of the last 3 double crochets, 2 and 3. Okay, now instead of chaining 3, we're going to chain 1. Turn your work. Work 1 double crochet, no, work 1 single crochet in each of the next of all the stitches. Yeah, 1 single crochet in all the stitches. 1, 2, 3. So now you have 1 single crochet on top of the first 3 double crochets. Then here is your V-stitch. 1 single crochet on top of your first leg of the V-stitch. 1 single crochet in the chain 1 space. And 1 single crochet on top of the last double crochet of your V-stitch. Let's do that again. 1 double crochet, 1 into the chain space, and 1 on the last double crochet of the V-stitch. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet on top of the first double crochet, 1 into the middle or into the chain 1 space, and 1 single crochet into the last double crochet of the V-stitch. Then you have 3 stitches left. Again, this is not a stitch. 1, 2, and 3. Then do a chain 1. Cut your yarn. I'm not going to cut it because I'm going to use it again for something else. Cut your yarn, weave in all the ends that you have on the back side of your work, and your beautiful blanket is ready. That's all. That's all there is to it. And this is what my blanket looks like. I love this border. I love it. Beautiful. This yarn was gifted to me by a friend. She has a web shop in the Netherlands. She does not sell this yarn, but she has from the same brand the DK version of this yarn. Beautiful, beautiful yarn. You can also use this this yarn for this blanket. It's all up to you. Try the hook size that fits the best with the yarn that you're going to use. Now, if you made your blanket, let me know down below in the comment section of this video. If you want to share the yarn that you use, the sizes that you created, the hook size that you have, feel free to do so to help everyone else out, because I'm not able to try everything out with all the different kinds of yarn all over the world. Unfortunately, I do not have the ability to do that. But you know, feel free to share that information with us all to help each other out. Okay. Like I said, like I explained into the video, there is an easy way, at least I think it's an easy way, to use these little squares, this little note squares, notebooks, piece of paper, whatever you like, and make it visible for you so it is easier to calculate how much yarn you will need. Just do it what suits you best. Right. All right. I love my blanket. My cat will I'm sure my cat will love it. Thank you so much for watching. I do have a lot of other videos in English, and I know I'm a little behind with my English videos, but I'm trying to do my very best to make as many English videos as soon as possible. But please have a little patience with me. Be a little patient with me, because I do have a regular job, and unfortunately I just have limited spare time to make the videos. But I really do hope you enjoy watching my videos. At the very end of this video, there will be a link to all my English videos. So have a look and see if there is anything else that you like. Anyway, if you really like watching this video, then please do not forget to give me that thumbs up. To become a subscriber, if you are not a subscriber yet, do not forget to hit that little notification bell so you will get notified every time I upload another video. I do upload videos in English and in Dutch, but I always put the language down into the title of the video, so you don't have to be or get disappointed when you click on the video and you end up watching a Dutch video in a language that you don't understand. You're free to watch it, but I cannot guarantee that you will understand what I explain to you guys. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you're going to make yours, then please do not forget to enjoy. Bye for now. Right, this is the yarn that I used for my blanket. Scheepjes, Chunky Monkey, Chunky Monkey, Chunky Monkey. Let's do that again. I know she does. She will love it. So I'm going to show you guys how to make it, to make a little swatch, and that will give you so I'm going to show you how to make a, no. I do upload